Hello everyone, my name is Igor, welcome to Geek Academy channel. This is a place where we geek out on some good movies, TV shows, games and books, but we are doing it as academics. We are taking it as serious as possible. And today we are continuing to analyzing from Season 1, Episode 7, one of the craziest episodes of the whole season so far. So many deaths, so many crazy events. But what is most important, so much of a new information, new clues and some interesting findings that I have for you. But before we begin, I just want to say thank you so much to all of my Patreons, all of my sponsors, everyone who donates here in YouTube. Because of you, thanks to you, I'm doing my best, I'm putting my maximum effort, as Deadpool would say, and I'm hoping, just hoping that you will enjoy this video too. So let's begin. So we're gonna begin with something small. First of all, there is playing cards again. They're preparing for Fatima's new birthday. She's celebrating 1 year in this place, and we can see that some extras are playing cards. And once again, it doesn't seem very important, but we are seeing playing cards again and again and again and again. We've seen them in Lighthouse, we've seen them when Megan was killed, and we're seeing them here. Now I can almost hear you saying to me, Igor, relax, this is just a place with no TV, no PlayStation, no Xbox. What do you want them to do? They are playing cards. And 99% of me agrees with you, but as I told you in my every video, I'm just putting there all of the information I notice. To decide whether it's important or not, this is for you. I'm not trying to talk at you. I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. I want to discuss it with you. So whenever you want to write some interesting comment or not very interesting comment, whatever it is, I am very happy to discuss this topic with you. So write me some comments. Anyway, we're moving forward and we can see that Ellis here is wearing Abby's pendant. Okay, this is some kind of a pearl. Just we understand why, because he is having trouble, because his mom didn't survive to celebrate 1 year in this place. I don't know, it feels a little bit forced to me. Every time somebody is happy, he's gonna be sad. I don't know what's his deal here. I understand you're sad about your mom. Anyone would, but your favorite person in this place is gonna celebrate and you're doing everything you can to ruin her day. Sounds to me a little bit douchey move. I don't know about you. Okay, I don't have an answer here, but you gotta notice this drawing with me. Who is that? Because we are familiar with all of the drawings in this room. This is Ellis and Fatima's room, and Julie is living with them right now. And we have seen Fatima's images, but we haven't seen this one. This is not Abby, this is definitely not Fatima. This is no one, this is not even Julie. I think at least this is not her. This looks once again like somebody from the 60s or 70s. Who is that? Maybe you're seeing here something that I don't see. Maybe this is someone from the TV show that I just don't recognize. Sometimes it can happen to me too. So once again, if you have any idea, any clue, who is that? Please let me know. But we are moving forward and we can see that Fatima here is also wearing some different necklace, okay? A different pendant. It looks kind of spherical, maybe some kind of hint for Earth, I don't know what it is. Once again, this is just something that I noticed. I tried to Google, I tried to ask ChatGPT, what is this jewelry? But as you can see, when I zoom in, it becomes very pixelated, so I couldn't really understand what it is. Maybe once again, there's absolutely no importance, but if you have any idea, please let me know. Now, this moment, we finally understand what is the reason for the massacre in episode 7. Okay, there is no more peaches. And as Victor always says, no more peaches, no more beaches. So this is time for everybody to die. I'm kidding, of course. I'm just enjoying Victor so much in this moment when Ellis bugs him and he's like, just please leave me alone. He is the guy who takes things seriously. He is the one who survived this place for so many years. And whenever he's in the shot, I'm like trying to catch every word. Because I know he's probably the key to understanding this place. Anyway, we're moving forward. We see here that there's another fake brand, as far as I can tell, some kind of a deep freeze. You know, I googled it. There's a lot of deep freeze refrigerators, but I haven't been able to find this brand with this logo. And I think what's most important here and most interesting here is that Victor says that through all this time, through decades of him being here, The only thing that didn't change, there were always peaches. So either this place was a peaches factory and it was creating it for Victor all the time, or maybe there's something fishy here, okay? The connection between Donna and Victor here is also interesting, and this episode is not gonna be good for Donna, okay? I'm gonna have some interesting thoughts about her not being maybe who she says she is, but still, I would like to learn more about this connection. It sounds very interesting to me. It's not like mother and son, it's more like, I don't know, Donna and a confidant. Anyway, once again, I'm just being upset here. It makes me angry. Everybody's like, Kevin, it's getting dark, come inside. Look at Kevin, he's leaving flowers. For whom? For a god of flowers? Ask him. Look at his mustache. He has to be suspicious. And we can see once again some parallels between Crominocle and the story we are looking at. Basically, Tabitha is reading it to Ethan and she's saying everything is fine and Crominocle was able to save everybody and she's happy and she met a lot of people. She's finishing the book. And then she says that Crominocle still feels like her journey just only begins in this magical place. And this is basically the writers are telling us, okay, you thought it's calm, you thought once again you reached some kind of a routine in this place, but no, we've prepared for you something special. And the special is gonna be in the end of this episode. But here I think I have something very interesting for you. We can see that Jade is drawing once again this symbol, but when we zoom in, it's not exactly the same symbol. He's drawing something different. Okay, just look at those images. One of them kind of looks like the, you know, like the swirling thing that Sarah and Ethan were using in episode 5. But what is most important is this infinity symbol with some kind of line between them that we're gonna see again in episode 10 when Victor is gonna take Tabitha there. So this is the symbol. You can see it right here. I'm gonna zoom it probably in the editing so you'll be able to see it too. So it can be infinity symbol. It can be once again some kind of a time loop. Okay, but the main question here is whether Christopher drew this symbol or Jade is the one who is drawing it too. Okay, and if it was Christopher's, we can understand that Christopher was in those caves, or if it's Jade and he sees this symbol, this is probably a very important one. So what are your thoughts? Why we have seen this symbol twice already? I think it is related somehow to time loop, because it gives me this feeling, you know, around it there's like some kind of light or power. Maybe it's a symbol of a lighthouse, because the lighthouse is some sort of maybe a border between two worlds, and maybe it is a pocket universe like this guy is gonna tell us in this episode. Anyway, I think it's lighthouse. I think lighthouse produces energy for this place. I think lighthouse is responsible for people not being able to leave this place because it creates maybe some kind of energetic dome around it. And I also think there is gonna be some kind of a time travel. I hope not the one we usually see in pop culture, maybe something more original. But you know, when we talk about the bottle tree and the year 1864, I think it was there, something tells me you can travel in time here, and we're gonna see some more, you know, more vague clues about it. Anyway, let's move forward. We are seeing right now it's been 7 days since the last accident. I don't know if it's exactly from the moment when Matthew's family arrived to this place, or it's from the moment Frank killed himself, but still not too much time has passed. And we're moving forward, and Donna is congratulating Fatima and she gives her a dream catcher. Now, dream catcher is something that came to us from Native American culture, and it's called there something similar to spider. And we talked about already about Iktomi, the god spider. We talked about Iya, the god that takes tongues out of people and disfigures them. So Donna giving Fatima something related to spiders in Native American culture, and according to what we're gonna see also in the end of the season with spiders, kinda makes me a little bit suspicious again about Donna. I love her character. I think she's one of the best ones. I enjoy her so much, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the end she's keeping some secrets from us. Anyway, we're moving forward to the story of Father Katri, and he's talking about this young boy who was in his congregation. And here I started to get once again suspicious. This is probably gonna be my favorite word in this video, because you can talk about congregation, your congregation, even without being a priest of this congregation. But after that, he's saying that he found this boy lingering outside of rectory, and rectory, this is a place next to church or inside of church, I don't know, where priests are usually live. Sometimes they live there. So if he's living in rectory, he has to be a priest. Anyway, I know there are theories that maybe Father Katri is not who he says he is, but in his story there weren't many moments when I was like, okay, this is not adding up, maybe he's not really a priest, especially when he talked about, like having candy for kids, especially when he talked about getting prepared for a mass next day. So there are a lot of moments when I could say, yeah, this guy was priest, he was wearing a priest shirt when he killed this dude, the dude that killed his kid. But once again, there is a moment here and there when he was saying that he saw the kid laying on the floor just with this candy bar sticking out of his pocket. And I don't know about you, but it sounds a little bit weird for me. I mean, imagine this situation, you're like seeing somebody who just killed the kid, and you're feeling so many emotions right now. You're angry at this piece of shit, and you're angry at yourself because you sent this kid away, this kid that wanted your help but couldn't ask because he was a shy kid, and you just sent him away, and this kind of led to him being murdered. And you jump on this guy, you kill him with your bare fist, you break his bones, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take this chocolate with me. It sounds a little bit weird for me. I hope I'm not alone here. It's just not something you do in this kind of situation when you have so much adrenaline pumping in your blood, when you have so many emotions and you're like, yeah, the chocolate here, come with me. And another super interesting, maybe even game-changing moment here with Father Katri. He says that when he starts to realize that he's him again, after killing someone, he stood on the bridge and suddenly he heard the voice of God. And this voice told him to get inside a car and start driving. And 2 hours later, he was already in Fromville. So, did he really hear some kind of a voice? And if yes, was that voice the same voice that Sarah hears? Or maybe from some different power, maybe the boy in white, I don't know exactly, but it sounds more logical to me than him just hearing the voice of God, because this is not that kind of a TV show. We don't see any proof of, divine forces here. We just see some horrors. So if yes, if it wasn't only Father Katri's imagination, it tells me that those forces that control Fromville, that are trying to escape or trying to keep those forces that are trying to escape, have the power to reach people beyond Fromville. We know that when they see the tree and the cross, this is where it begins. This is where the spooky thing starts to happen. But with Father Katri, this is something that happens 2 hours before he has seen the tree with the cross. So I think it's a very important information moving forward. And in this episode we also learn a lot about monsters. Okay, so first of all, we know they have names. He's calling her Jasmine, and she's like, you have no idea how lonely it is out here. Now you can always argue that she's basically toying with him. This is part of the play, this is part of the manipulation. You're like, oh, this is so lonely here, I wanna be in your arms, blah blah blah. Which sounds logical, but there are more moments that make you feel and understand that those monsters do have feelings. Those monsters do have some kind of a sentient, close to human understanding of the world around them. And she's even telling him, it wasn't my choice to be this way. Sounds kinda logical, usually nobody chooses to become this way, but the fact that she's saying that kinda tells you that they were humans before that. They were something normal before that. You were something and you become this way. This is why she's saying it wasn't my choice to be this way. So she was something before that. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't created like that. She was a human being, she was, I don't know, an innocent spirit, whatever you want to call it, but she was something before she became a monster. And we can see here again some kind of a quantum physics, this guy who talks about bosonic string theories, believe there are 26 dimensions, and he's talking about the pocket universe. And you know, pocket universe is an interesting theory. Basically, a pocket universe is a concept often found in science fiction, theoretical physics, and cosmology. It refers to a self-contained, smaller universe that exists separately from, but may be connected to the larger universe or multiverse. The idea is that the pocket universe has its own distinct space-time and physics laws, but it is somehow linked to or embedded with the broader or parent universe. So it does sound a lot like Fromville. There's a lot of different time movement. There are a lot of different physics laws. Monsters here can fly apparently, you know, when they jump to the roof in order to get inside a window. And there's also a connection to the broader universe, to our universe, but it is this one, the Fromville, it's kind of small. This is why you can't escape it in the usual manner, just going forward or driving forward. And not an analysis, just my very unpopular opinion, I guess, but you know, Ellis is wrong here, like from every point of view. He bucked someone during this conversation that doesn't concern you, you know, like Joyce Wall says. Mind your own business. You know, this bald guy, he's talking to this girl, he's trying to impress her, he's telling her about this pocket universe, and suddenly Ellis is like, yeah, you should fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. What do you want, man? Move on with your life. And then when he's being told off, kinda logically, like, go mind your own business, he's like, I'm so angry, this guy is completely wrong, but you started this, man. Nothing would have happened. This bald guy wouldn't say anything about your mom if you wouldn't be a dick before that. So it's kinda, you know, like, consequences. But let's get back to the monster, and she's like, come on, close the window, quick. This is another moment that was a little bit questionable for me, because why do you need this? You don't need an act already. You can act, you can pretend like, oh, I'm gonna fall in love with you, let's kiss and hug and blah blah blah. But she's like here concerned, like really concerned, close the window, quick. And we have this theory that maybe monsters are just walking around playing with their stupid fucking smiles, but at some point maybe some other force uses them to actually attack someone. And also he feels that her hands are warm. Okay, now we human beings, our bodies are warm because of, you know, like the energy we consume, because of blood circulation, because some kind of different aspects. And as soon as we go from this world, we become pretty cold, because we lose all those components necessarily for human body to operate. And about 5 minutes ago, we just talked about her being human being, probably before that. Okay, so this is not a vampire, this is not a zombie, this is not one of those creatures that we tend to think about because they are everywhere in popular culture, because her hands are warm. And vampires are cold, zombies are cold, because it's a dead body that just moves. And she is an alive creature, but once again, if we fast forward to season 2, when Smiley is killed, we can see that his body is empty. What is warm there? Why is this body warm? Once again, it's another question worth adding to our board, and hopefully we're gonna get an answer someday. Anyway, she rips his tongue out, just like Sarah did in episode 1, I think. Yeah, it was episode 1, and we talked again about Iya, about this god from Native American culture who was ripping tongues apart. Maybe it's somehow connected, maybe just me, you know, stretching as far as I can. But once again, we see something happens twice. This is already a hint for pattern. Why tongues? Okay, here in this situation you can explain it. Usually they were kissing, they were French kissing. She was like, this is the moment for me to become a monster. But not me, not you, probably wouldn't give second thought about this moment if it wasn't for episode 1, when the monsters, the voices, sorry, told Sarah specifically cut Toby's tongue out. And here I'm gonna ask why a couple of times. Why is she cleaning her hands? Okay, is she germophobic? What is going on in her mind? It feels like she wants to come back to this version that comes out of the caves. Okay, and one of the moments here is gonna be super interesting for you, I promise. She's trying to clean her hands, and she's trying to clean her, I don't know how you call it, this apron, this white thing here. She's trying to actually like remove the blood, and we can see that it didn't happen. Nothing happened there. And then she opens the window for the monsters, and they're just all already gathering there. So either they can feel that there is an open window, an open door, basically a place for them for a game, or it was a plan. And before this moment, Jasmine was sitting with them, you know, like smoking cigs, you know, like, you know what I'm gonna do today? I think the crazy virgin with the mustache is finally gonna let me in. So you guys be ready, be close to this place. I think it's gonna happen tonight. I know already what to say to him. He's gonna see some moments there. He's gonna see how, you know, how Fatima kisses some girl, and he's gonna be like, I wanna kiss somebody too. I wanna kiss a monster. So he's gonna open a window for me. We're gonna have some party. Now this moment has zero information, but it sounds interesting for me that Victor has a ring toss there. Also some kind of an old game. And Victor is the boss. He's the gangster of this place. I just enjoy every moment with him. And another moment is that we notice Christopher. And Christopher is holding a book. First, I thought it's maybe Bible, the same Bible that Father Katri said there isn't in this place even one book, but more logical explanation, he's holding the same diary, the same book where he used to draw all those symbols that Jade is seeing right now, when we can see that it's Victor there. He's young here, he's carrying his box with charcoals. And I have another question. And you decide whether it's something that the writers missed or there's something fucked up going on here. Because we know now already that those charcoals, if I call them correctly, and this box, this disco box, this was his sister's, not his. Okay, I hope I'm not mistaken here. Okay, I need to rewatch season 2 again. I saw it only twice, but I remember it was his sister's and she gave it to him before she left to save her mom. So how come he's walking here with the same box? Because logically it's way before the massacre happened. I think it's probably something the writers missed, but if not, this is the place you heard it from. And we see the monster girl. She is like faking some kind of a laugh. Why? What for? Once again, it's kind of stupid game. They want to trap somebody inside. But then, just right after Trudy, they go out and they already going crazy, you know, like we're here, we're monsters and we're happy. So it almost feels like they wanted to trap Trudy. They wanted to kill her specifically. She was the one who needed to be murdered. And they're trapping her in Donna's room. Once again, just a coincidence probably, but how? So once she killed this guy in this toilet, and then she was like, okay, let's go to this room and I'm just gonna laugh until somebody comes in. And we're gonna hope that this somebody is not gonna be very smart or very cautious and not ask us, who are you and why are you laughing with yourself in this room, please? And we're gonna do it in Donna's room, because Donna, she's a spider. Anyway, we can see here that she knows Trudy's name, and she's saying to her, we know all of your names. How? Do you have a 4K TV that shows you from episode 1 to the last one in season 2? Or you have the same Netflix, whatever it is, just like Martin had, who also knows apparently everybody's name and everything that happened here. It tells me they are watching. You remember this theme of an eye watching on top of everybody, just looking over everybody? It kind of gives me again some vibes of simulation, Matrix, some kind of VR, some kind of a different reality made by a computer algorithm who Jade created. But another interesting thing here is that she is completely clean. The blood is gone. Okay, so once again, this moment usually can be explained by sometimes it happens, you know, there is no movie or TV show in the world that doesn't have some kind of a mistake, some kind of errors, that basically somebody having a black eye and the next scene is already healed or something like this. But here, specifically after a scene when everybody was focused on her trying to clean the blood away and showing us that she couldn't do it, now she have the same dress, but it's a clean one. How the hell did it happen? I cannot dismiss it as just some production mistake, some kind of a production mishap. It doesn't sound logical to me because, you know, why would you leave the scene then when she's trying to clean the blood for like a couple of seconds? What is the clue then? What does it tell us? Is that a spirit? Is it something that can manifest itself from time to time? This is how they can actually climb roofs? This is how they can actually teleport maybe? Because it's not something completely physical even though it has a warm body? I'm getting insane with this TV show. There's so many information, and as soon as you start to build some theory, there's always a couple of clues that tells you, fuck your theory. This is not a good theory. And you know, massacre, 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 everybody gets killed, Gangsta Victor gets Julie out, and he sees the boy in white, which makes me think that the boy in white was probably the reason how Victor survived during all those decades before Father Katri, Donna, and all of the oldies arrived. Because he probably knew where Victor is, and he knew where monsters are, and he always told Victor, you go into this tree, you go into this place, and then Victor would go into the faraway tree and see himself in some kind of a cellar and escape that way. This is how Victor was able to escape all this time, and this is why he trusts the boy in white. Or maybe there's something happened, and the boy in white, who didn't came to Victor for a long time, actually came to him a couple of days ago and told him he has to be prepared. And another interesting piece of information here about the monsters is they're having curiosity. When they are inside the colonial house, they're touching everything, they're enjoying this moment, they're curious. What does it feel to touch a railing? What does it feel to touch this plant? So if we are saying that the monsters were human before that, okay, maybe they want to remember how it felt, okay? Or they're completely new creatures, completely new, created from scratch, and they're just curious about what is this thing inside those places. They're not allowed to be inside, or they used to live maybe even here in this colonial house, and they're trying to, you know, like, to remember or to have some kind of nostalgic feeling here, like, oh, I used to live this place, this plant was mine. Now Julie is escaping through faraway tree, and she gets out in the cellar. We know already this is something that's probably happened to Victor and his mom and Ellis in season 2. And we can see Catherine's death. It's kind of symbolic that we can see days without accident behind him, 7 days. And of course it's a sad moment because Father Katri was one of the most interesting characters here, but he's gonna come back. I don't know if it's really here or it's some kind of, I don't know, entity who basically just pretends to be Father Katri, but still, great actor, great character, and I'm glad we're gonna see him again. This is for episode 7, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You know exactly how you want to support it, whether it's by like, comment, subscribe, or maybe becoming one of the Patreons. Whatever you decide, I'm very cool with it. And as usual, I hope I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!